Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What's on My Table, and today we have a very special product. Any guesses? It is the Grenaro wireless microphone system for your smartphone. So we're going to open this and review it today. So as you can see, there are a few features here. Let's get our tools in and a smartphone to check it with. So this is my S9 Plus, Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Well, I have my Grenaro mic here, an easy cut tool to cut this out. And we can just pull this guy out and then open this system, and we're going to see what this can do. So I am currently recording with the SmartLav Plus, which is nothing but the proprietary mic given by Rode, and that is one of the good mics which is wired and gives you fairly clear audio when you do these review videos with your phone. So this is going to be my first upgrade to something that's wireless. So let's go ahead and see what this is all about. So you've got a couple of models. You have the one transmitter and one receiver model, then you have the two transmitter and one receiver model, then you have the same combination with a percentage indicator which costs you around 200 to 300 rupees more. One of the other people who reviewed this before I bought it actually mentioned that that is just a graphic and it doesn't exist. But I realized that there is another product which actually has that percentage meter, which tells you how much of the receivers and the transmitters, or maybe the entire charging unit, standard in terms of the battery charge. So let's go ahead, open this guy out, let's see what's in it for us. So I'm going to place this here. And yeah, so as you can see here, these are the things that are supposed to come with it. It's basically this charging station. Looks pretty nice. It's built pretty well, and I think it's kind of nice because there's a light in it and it's switched on to, which means it's probably charging, which is not a bad idea. And the other side, we've got nothing. So basically there is a USB port below here, USB-C type port, and also a little LED indicator there which will tell us if it's going to charge or not. So let's go through this manual. There seems to be a manual here which fairly well explains what needs to be done and how you use it. So the model J13, like I stated, looks like the one which has got 1-to-1, meaning one receiver and one transmitter, and the J13 is the one with two transmitters and one receiver. So our model is the one with two transmitters and one receiver, but for all practical purposes, the way it works is very similar. So in addition to that, let's go ahead and see what are the different capabilities of this particular unit. So let's go to the packaging list first to make sure we've received everything that was promised with this package. So number one, you've got the microphone transmitter. In our case, we have two microphone transmitters. Let's go ahead and check if we have both. Yes, looks like both are in this. Then you have one lightning receiver and a charging box, which is this, charging cables in the user manual. Well, it doesn't clearly show you what is in it. So let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Looks like this is the box with all the additional accessories. So I'm going to pull open this and see what is in it. Oof, that's a lot of stuff. So you got a warranty card here too. So we'll keep this aside for now, and let's see what are the accessories. So from what I understood before purchasing this product, I was aware of the fact that this comes with a charging cable. Oh, this is a surprise. It's got a single USB to two charging ports, two USB-C type ports. What I presume is that these devices might have their own charging capability with the port, and I think this will be able to charge that directly. Or you could put this and charge these two units, because the receiver is something that draws power from the phone directly. This doesn't necessarily need any sort of power because it runs on the mobile power, whereas these two units, which are standalone units, need the power. Along with this, they also have included two converter plugs like this. So you could actually plug this into this, and you could use a headset to monitor what you're talking and to see if the levels are good and if everything's going good. So two of these, which means two people in an interview can simultaneously monitor their audio levels while they are speaking through the mic. So this is pretty cool. Let's keep this aside. This is a lightning USB-C to lightning converter. So if you want to use the same system on an iPhone, then you'd be able to use this. So if you've got an iPhone here, and if you want to use this with that, you'll be plugging this into the cable and this unit would still remain the same. So pretty much that. But for now, we'll keep all these aside. Let's go ahead and connect this. We're done with the charging cable and the manual. So let's keep that aside and remove these plugs, because we do not need these now, but these could be here, so you know what comes with it. So apart from that, let us go ahead and see if this needs a little bit of charge. These things go in pretty well and they lock in place. They're almost, I would say, magnetic, because I can feel something pulling them down. The golden contacts where this charges are right below the unit, as you can see here. And this unit just goes in. This doesn't seem like it's magnetic, but this and this are both magnetic. The cover is also magnetic. It looks pretty good and actually locks in place fairly well. It's a nice box, no complaints. Looks pretty good. So that's that. So let's go ahead and connect it to the phone. So I've heard a lot of complaints with respect to this not being able to connect to Android phones. One of the bad things is that you cannot connect it when it's in the case because this isn't long enough. So that could be a small design change that they could have considered incorporating, but maybe they'll incorporate that in the newer models. So let's go ahead and connect this, and I'm going to switch this on by connecting this this way. Just hold the button down and the light would come on. So now it is connected. So let's go ahead and actually try and record something with the camera. Say I'm just going to record a little video of this. So it says recording through the USB mic, but I'm going to move this right up close to my mouth. So now it's away from me, and now it's right next to my mouth. So it should be louder now than it is when it is kept here. So it should be softer now. So we will know if this is working or not once we actually stop this video and replay it. So I'm going to stop this, and since I've spoken, you should be able to understand whether. So it says recording through the USB mic, but I'm going to move this right up close to my mouth. So now it's away from me, and now it's right next to my mouth. So it should be louder now than it is when it is kept here. So it should be softer now. So we will know if this is working or not once we actually stop this video and replay it. So clearly you could make out that it wasn't recording the audio. It was clearly not recording the audio because as I moved it closer to my mouth, it didn't really have a noticeable difference in the loudness level. I would have expected that, but then looks like there's absolutely no difference in the loudness level, which means it's not recording it. So let's try another app. Say we go to a voice recorder, which is one of the proprietary apps which is provided with Samsung. So in this particular mode, if I go ahead and click record, it says external recording with external mic, not USB mic, but it says recording with external mic. So as I move this closer, as you can see here, now the mic is right in front of my mouth, so you can see the levels going up, and when I keep the mic away, the levels are much lower. And I keep it closer, the levels are much higher, and when I keep it away, the levels are much lower. So this clearly means that the mic is working now, and it wasn't working back then. So let's go ahead and try the other mic as well, just to make sure it's working fine. So I have it switched on. This seems to be recording it. I'm moving the mic closer to my mouth, and you can see there's a very clear increase in the levels. If I move both close to my mouth, you can see there is an increase in the level still. And it's very clearly louder than it is when it is kept away from my mouth. So let's hear this once. Voice 66. It says external recording with external mic, not USB mic, but it says recording with external mic. So as I move this closer, as you can see here, now the mic is right in front of my mouth, so you can see the levels going up. And I keep the mic away, the levels are much lower. So yeah, that's that. Keep it closer, the levels are much higher. I clearly know that it's working. So both the units are working perfectly fine. There are some additional features on these units. There is noise cancellation and 3 levels of noise cancellation, background noise cancellation. And in addition to that, you also have something called a reverb, and the reverb levels can increase or decrease based on how you use them. So let's go ahead and try that now. So the simple method of doing that is, let's go ahead and record another audio track, and we're just going to do that using the same voice recorder software. And we'll just go back and start a new recording. So as you can hear me, this is pretty away from my mouth, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to press it once, tap it once. It gives me 2. So let's do this again. So I'm just going to keep this here, and I'm just going to focus on this. I'm going to tap it once. It gives me 2 blinks for the first time, 3 blinks the second time, and 1 blink. So noise level reduction is at 0 or just level 1. If I press it once again, it gives me 2 blinks, which means it's at noise level reduction 2. And when I press it one more time, it gives me 3 blinks, which means it's at noise level reduction 3. Another thing you can do is if you rapidly, or say we'll move it back into noise level reduction 1. And now if I press it 3 times really quick, then moves into a red color and then gives a green again. So now it's in reverb mode, which means I would get an echo every time I speak. And the way to disable this echo mode is to actually press it 3 times vigorously again. So you get a red light and back to the green light. So let's go ahead and listen to what was recorded. As you can hear me, this is pretty away from my mouth. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to press it once, tap it once. It gives me 2. Let's do this again. So I'm just going to keep this here, and I'm just going to focus on this. I'm going to tap it once. It gives me 2 blinks the first time, 3 blinks the second time, and 1 blink. So noise level reduction is at 0 or just level 1. If I press it once again, it gives me 2 blinks, which means it's at noise level reduction 2. And when I press it one more time, it gives me 3 blinks, which means it's at noise level reduction 3. Another thing you can do is if you rapidly, or say we move it back into noise level reduction 1. And now if I press it 3 times really quick, then moves into a red color and then gives a green again. So now it's in reverb mode, which means I would get an echo every time I speak. So you can hear the echo clearly. To disable this echo mode is to actually press it 3 times vigorously again. So you get a red light and back to the green light. So let's go ahead and listen to what we'll do. So that's pretty much it. So you've actually seen how the 3 levels of noise reduction can be applied to each of the mics individually at the mic end, which means anybody who's using it can actually activate it, or if you were using it, you can actually activate it at the mic end, and you don't really have to go right up to the receiver to do anything like that. So it's pretty intuitive. There is reverb level, just in case you want to have an echo. I don't know why they're given this feature, but then it's cheap thrills and gimmicks for people who really want it. Maybe if you're at a birthday party and you want to have some fun and you want to announce something with a little bit of a reverb like we did when we were kids. So the entire aspect and curiosity of using a mic. So then that's probably one of the good features that it has. So let's go back and check this. So I've gone ahead and connected this. And if I use a earphone and I'm on record mode, I should be able to hear myself as I speak. And that's exactly what's happening. I can hear myself while I'm speaking, which means I'm able to monitor the levels just in case I want to try noise level reduction. Now it's at noise level reduction 3, which means it sounds a little choppy. And now it's without the noise level reduction, which means it's pretty good. So now it's at noise level reduction 1. Now it's at noise level reduction 1, which is pretty good. So if the mic is close to my mouth, I'll be able to hear myself better. And I think the reverb is still on. I'm not completely sure, but looks like it is. Now, no, the reverb is just enabled now. I think there's a small delay of like a split second when you hear yourself with your earphone, which is okay, but it's mostly to not record, but just get an idea of the levels. So I think that's pretty much it. I hope this video helps you. I think for the price of 2,500, this is a pretty good deal. If you actually look at the features mentioned here, I'll just take you through them. The MRP says it's around 4,000 rupees, but we got it for much cheaper. I got it for 2,500 with a discount on that as well. There's no GST bill. In terms of the features, if you look at this, it says it's got plug and play. It's got 20 meters of accessible reception. I've not done this test. I could do that separately. And it's got precise radio, which means it's a radio frequency and not a Bluetooth mic. Clear timbre, which means good sound. Well, I would say it's pretty good. The sound is not too bad for the price. Highly sensitive, maybe it's a sensitive mic, which is good. Gives you 2-3 levels, and that's pretty good. Widely compatible, definitely, but not too happy with the fact that it's not working on this in the normal mode. So I did look up some other videos, and I realized that although the video mode is not capturing the mic audio, there's a workaround for that. In certain phones, you can enable the OTG option for like Oppo and Vivo. You could go here and enable the OTG if you just search for OTG. But Samsung doesn't really have this option. Although OTG is enabled, it would still not pick up the mic as an external mic. So there is another option available here which will enable you to do that, and that is to download what is known as the open camera. The open camera is a great feature which is more like an app that can enable you to record videos with the inbuilt mic. So I've gone here. I have this option to go up to the video settings, and under video settings there is audio source, and you'll have to select, as you can see, external mic here, external mic if present. So then it will pick up the external mic. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to record something with this connected. So just like I said, while it's recording this for us, I'm going to go and pick up one of the mics, move the mic closer to my mouth, and I hope the levels are higher now. And as I move it away from my mouth, the levels should be lower now. So let us see how this fared. Recording, I move the mic closer to my mouth, and I hope the levels are higher now. And as I move it away from my mouth, the levels should be lower now. Yeah, so it's actually worked, and this feature is pretty cool because this is able to give you a lot of customization options even in video, where you can select exposure and other things. I've not really used the app, but it's pretty cool. It's worth giving it a try. I'd used this a long time back, so you can even swap it to your selfie cam. You could even take pictures with it. So it's a pretty good app. The open camera app gives you a lot of customization features. So that's it for now. Let's move this guy out. This looks a little flimsy, but it's still not too bad. These are the things that come with it, and considering that you have all these things coming for a super good price of just 2,500, I would say it's not a bad deal at all. And I'll share a link to this product in my video description, so you could consider purchasing it. There's an option to charge it from here as well, which makes it great. These things are beeping, and we're just gonna switch it off and maybe put it in this case. I presume there are, you can see it starts charging. So there is another micro battery inside this box which is charging these devices, and they have their own batteries too. So I hope you liked the video and this came of use to you in some way. If you have any other questions or you have a different experience of making it work with the stock Android video recording app, please do share it with me. I'd be glad to explore that option on my Samsung S9 Plus. I'm recording on the S22 Ultra with the dongle because the Rode lavalier mic would only work if you have a 3.5mm TRRS jack. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get back to making some more videos using these mics pretty soon. I'll probably do a review of the range of this mic in a day or two. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.